Heading to meet Gravik. Fury calling his wife Priscilla. It's essentially a goodbye call, and it's clear that Fury doesn't know if he'll come back. After the call, a car approaches the gates of New Skrullos. The guards open fire, but Fury wasn't even in the car. After quickly shooting them down, Fury walks into the Skrull compound. Rhodey Raava, who is still pushing for the nuclear strike. The Admiralty is hesitant to make such a move without verifying if the Russians really are working with the Skrulls. But Rhodey presses harder, showing the president live footage of Russian troops moving to their borders with Ukraine and Finland. Raava already has a speech written for the president, making one last push to launch the strike. Rhodey gets a call from Sonya. Fury walks through the compound, which is eerily deserted. The bodies of Beto and the other Skrulls who turned on Gravik have been left where they were killed, but there's no sign of anyone alive. Fury doesn't have long to ponder this, as the radiation levels at the compound, a decommissioned nuclear plant, are already causing him trouble breathing. Fury stumbles through the compound, coughing and shaking. At the hospital, Rhodey gets a call from Sonya Falsworth, who tells him to move the president immediately and that Fury's headed straight for him. Rhodey questions why they should worry about Fury, but Sonya tells him that Fury's lost his mind. Back at the compound, Fury finally makes his way down to the reactor room, where Gravik is waiting with the Super Skrull machine. Fury asks him where all the Skrulls went, and Gravik reveals that he locked them all up, preventing their escape from the impending strike. Fury attempts to take some iodide pills to fight the steadily worsening radiation poisoning, but he drops the bottle and Gravik kicks them down the drain. Gravik then offers him a drink, toasting, "The last stand of the great Nick Fury." Rhodey and his team move the president to a higher floor, sending out agents to hunt for Fury, but the hunters are in turn hunted by an unseen killer. In the reactor room, Fury's dying from exposure to radiation, and Gravik comments that without the pills, the symptoms are going to accelerate. Gravik asks Fury if he had a backup plan, some Avengers on standby, or an invisible cloak and shield. He also asks Fury if he recognizes the face Gravik's been wearing, which was the face of the first human the Skrull killed on Fury's orders. Gravik is surprised that Fury doesn't remember, but this was a formative moment for the young Skrull. That man was just the first of many, and Gravik still feels the weight of all those killings, blaming Fury for using the Skrulls as his private spies. Gravik's hatred for Fury is only matched by his hatred for Talos, who in Gravik's eyes turned the Skrulls from a warrior race to a band of beggars. And so Gravik wraps up his final supervillain speech by saying that he will first kill Fury, and then take a flamethrower to humanity, stressing to Fury that it's all because Fury failed to keep his. Surprising even Gravik, Fury admits he failed. He knew early on that finding a new home for the Skrulls would be impossible, and yet he kept stringing them along. The only way he could have kept his promise was by building them a home on Earth. But he didn't do it because it was easier to focus on saving lives than to change the hearts and minds of humanity. Fury's secret weapon is the MCU's newest and most powerful hero. The old spymaster finally reveals what he felt when he was snapped out of existence. Relief that he could finally stop fighting. He also says that he finally came back to Earth because he felt responsible for Gravik. As the Secret Service agents at the hospital start dropping like flies, Fury offers Gravik the harvest, alien DNA, the DNA collected from every combatant in the Battle of Earth. In exchange, he asks that Gravik take the Skrulls and leave Earth. Gravik takes the harvest from Fury just as Rhodey is getting the president to a new room. The president takes a gun from one of the agents, and elsewhere, the order to initiate the strike on New Skrullos is given. Fury lies on the floor of the Super Skrull machine, his symptoms getting progressively worse, as Gravik checks the samples, commenting that Fury really does want to die. Sonya surprises Rhodey as Gravik activates the machine, with Fury still in it. Sonya holds Rhodey Raava at gunpoint, while at the reactor room, the machine powers down, revealing Gravik in his natural Skrull form, practically sizzling with power. Gravik attacks Fury, who then reveals the ace up his sleeve. With his arm changing into that of the Hulk, Fury sends Gravik flying out of the building. Stepping out of the rubble, Gia, Emilia Clarke, reveals herself, having tricked Gravik into giving her the same powers he had stolen. Just so we're clear, This now makes Gia the single most powerful hero in the MCU so far, with the combined abilities of Captain Marvel, the Avengers, Thanos, the Black Order, and many more. Meanwhile, the real Fury is indeed at the hospital, where he takes out the last of the Secret Service agents and tells the president to aim his gun at Rhodey. It's Gia versus Gravik final fight. Gia confronts Gravik, calling him flailing and weak, and attacks him. What follows is the epic action sequence we've been waiting for all this while, with Gravik and Gia using the powers of various characters to battle it out. Back at the hospital, Fury explains the situation to the president, and that the real Rhodey is at the very compound the US is about to bomb along with dozens of world officials. Gia brief upper hand, but Gravik uses the powers of Ebony Maw to push back. Raava tries to convince the president to stay the course, with the bomb already being prepared. Fury tries to convince the president otherwise, and the Gia versus Gravik fight kicks up a notch, with both of them using Captain Marvel's powers to take to the sky. Gravik almost beats Gia, but she uses the powers of Mantis to knock him out. Sonya and Fury tell the president all he has to do is delay the strike, and it really looks like they may be getting through. Gravik continues to fire at Gia, with both of them finally colliding in an epic anime-esque action sequence that end with Gia firing a massive blast through Gravik's torso, presumably killing him. Raava tries to make a move and ends up getting shot in the head by Fury, wrapping up that thread as well. The president realizes the truth when Raava turns back into her Skrull form at death, calling off the strike. Gia frees the prisoners, among them the real Rhodey and Martin Freeman. It's revealed that Rhodey was replaced very early on, with his body in a terrible condition. Gia then leads them all to safety. Finale sets up a war to come, and Fury will be back. Sometime later, President Ritson addresses the nation, confirming that the Skrulls were responsible for the attempt on his life. Ritson declares war against all aliens, setting up a dark future to come for the MCU. Fury meets Priscilla in their home, which was trashed when the Skrull rebels attacked Priscilla and Gia there. Priscilla asks Fury if he really fell in love with her or with the face she wore, and Fury says he loves her, asking for one last chance. He then tells her that he's going back to SABER that very night. If you can find a way to forgive me, he says as he's leaving, you know where to find me. Sonya and Gia meet, with Sonya proposing an alliance, offering the Skrulls the resources they need to fight against Ritson's war. Gia is skeptical, as it sounds a lot like Fury and Talos' old arrangement. Sonya wins her over by promising that it will be all business between them, but they will make the planet safer for both Skrulls and humans. Fury drives back out to the spot and calls the president, telling him off for making a bad situation worse. Sonya takes Gia to a secret location where a vast number of humans have been kept prisoner, hooked up to more pods like the ones at New Skrullos. Gia is shocked as she realizes just how deep the Skrull rebellion actually goes, and the monumental task before her. Fury tells Ritson that they have to act now to reverse the damage he's done, but the president refuses, telling Fury to get the Skrulls off the planet. Fury is clearly disappointed as he prepares to leave. Just then a car pulls up, driven by Priscilla. She tells Fury that now that humans know about the Skrulls, she wants to use her birth name, asking him to call her Vara. Fury tells Vara that he has some good news. The Kree are open to peace talks with the Skrulls. Vara is cynical, but Fury tells her it's a good thing and asks for her help as a diplomat. He asks her to go with him, and she says she'll help him get started, but she'll have to be back. Vara then takes her natural form and tells Fury she loves him as she is. Fury responds by saying, "Only as you are," kissing her in her Skrull form and making it clear that he loves her no matter what face she wears. Together, they leave Earth for SABER and hopefully more adventures to come.